Hello, welcome back to Access. I'm Nathan. I'm here with Dave.
Hello.
Dave, we're in Paris.
Deus Ex. We're in Deus Ex. Next to this giant PlayStation symbol.
Yeah. This is the Grand Arche de la Défense.
Oh, really?
Yes, of course it is.
It's also where the PlayStation conference took place.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, underneath there is where it didn't take place, just in there.
No.
But that's not why we're here.
No.
Someone's just ridden past on a one-wheel Segway thing. Sorry.
Wow.
That was cool. We're here to talk about Uncharted 4 multiplayer, which you and I got to play yesterday after hours at the show floor.
Yeah.
And we're just going to kind of everything you need to know style, just information drop, because I also saw Robert Cogburn, who is the lead gameplay designer on it, do a presentation right after the conference. So I've got notes.
Good work.
We're fully armed.
I'm impressed. You've gone full Holly.
So I beat you last night.
Well, it's a team game, isn't it?
Yeah, we were on different teams.
Yes.
Which is what enabled me to win. So I guess the first thing that we should talk about, the Naughty Dog are talking about this as a culmination of, obviously they learned a bunch of stuff in The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Something which Robert Cogburn has been saying a lot is the moment to moment. And I think that the idea that they had like quite a good overall kind of setup for Uncharted multiplayer, but they've understood how to make it like, second to second, what am I doing, what decisions am I making, that's more exciting now. And part of the reason for that, people go into a down state, and you can revive them, and they've also brought across the shop from The Last of Us. So that's you kind of tap the touchpad in the middle of the DualShock 4, and it brings up options on the D-pad, and they are kind of like heavy weapons. You can get like a grenade, like gear, I think it is. That can be like C4 or grenades. And there's also then the two other things which I kind of want to spend most of the time talking about, which are mysticals and sidekicks. Dave, explain to us what mysticals are.
They are sort of power-ups, I suppose, but they take their reference from the Uncharted series, which is quite cool. Yeah,
they do. Yeah, so the idea is that in the same way that I kind of mentioned that they're trying to bring in everything they've learned from Uncharted, but also the lore of Uncharted as well. And so the mysticals will be things you can deploy that are kind of supernatural, that will affect the game in various strategic ways. And there is supposed to be kind of a tactical element to this.
Yeah.
So, for instance, one of them is the Wrath of El Dorado. So you throw like a little golden emblem, and it turns into a sarcophagus.
Yeah.
And then spectres. It basically it's like area of effect damage. Anyone around there is going to get hurt for a certain amount of time. And the idea behind that is because the way they're trying to... Cogburn was talking about the fact that in previous Uncharted multiplayers, it might feel like the open arenas, you could basically get shot from anywhere.
Right.
And now they have more of a... it's not linear, but they've designed maps, there's going to be 8 maps, so that there can be combat fronts.
Yeah.
So teams can really see it. He was talking about the high-end games, I guess, amongst the testers who got really good at the game. They were, facing off against each other, and they were really dug in.
Yeah.
And so they developed this mystical in order you can chuck it in, and basically people have to run away. So it's a way of breaking combat fronts. Did you see any others last night?
The Sintamani Stone?
Yeah. Do you know what I did?
That's like an area of effect again, but this time for healing. So if you've got downed friends, and you use it. Anyone within that area will instantly be revived. And
I think the person then, while it's active as well, his revives are
much increased.
I think that anyone who is revived might also have some effects until the person with the Sintamani Stone activated is killed. And the other one that we saw is Fire of the Jinn, which I guess is from Uncharted 3, with those kind of demon head dudes. They look like Hellride? No, what's his name? The Marvel one. Dude. Ghost Rider.
That's right. Yeah.
That's something else. And you can use that. You kind of become very quick. You can have like short kind of. It's almost like the blink from Dishonored, but with your head's on fire.
Yeah, some teleportation there, isn't it?
At the same time, and your melee is much improved there.
Yes.
Actually, they were really. Cogburn was talking about the melee, and basically they were really honest about he was saying, hands up who didn't like melee in the last night.
Yeah.
And those people were like. I'm sorry. And so they've made it now so that melee was 2 effective last time.
Yeah.
You only needed 2 hits to down somebody. Now you need 3, unless you have the Jinn
active,
and then it's only 2. He was also saying about how, if you're really into Uncharted multiplayer, how previously you couldn't roll away from melee. It was like melee was kind of... He just said, that's broken, and we fixed it now. So look forward to that as well. So that's the mysticals. They're basically like quite powerful perks, but themed to Uncharted. And then there are sidekicks.
Yes.
Which I know you're excited about, Dave, because you often feel lonely.
Oh, I do.
When you're playing games.
Just in life.
Did you get any of those last night? Did you unlock any?
I did didn't actually. No, I didn't use a sidekick. I was killed by one at one point.
Who was that?
Or downed. It was a sniper, I believe.
Right. Yeah. So and again, they have like tactical functions.
Yeah.
So sidekicks again, so once you bring up the shop menu, you'll be earning cash throughout everything you do. All your points turn into cash, and then you can deploy them in the forms of weapons or mysticals or sidekicks. And the sidekicks again will have like various functions. So Dave got killed by a sniper, and the sniper is what you'd expect. He spawns next to you. He's just a man, like an NPC character, and he will shoot stuff for you until he's killed. And his kills will generate cash for you. So I guess it's like if you have like a drone that goes up in one of those army games, or anything like that, and it will accrue XP or cash in this case for you, and that's obviously quite a defensive thing. So if you do have something you're defending, you can whack the sniper up. There's also a hunter who will just run to the nearest enemy and put him in like a
headlock,
like a full Nelson. Like until, and the way they deployed it in the gameplay that they showed us was. You do get that feeling when you're kind of behind cover. There's some low walls here, which is why I'm looking at them. Yeah. You're behind cover, and if there's two people coming and you don't have a heavy weapon, you're basically like, oh.
Yes.
So what he did was spawned the hunter straight away. Hunter just went and put Elena in a headlock.
Yeah.
And then he was able to deal with the first guy and then kill the second guy. You can also get like there's a support guy who will heal you if you're downed.
It gives you ammo as well, and your teammates' ammo as well.
I think it might reduce the cooldown on like certain other weapons.
Yeah.
And then there's like the heavy weapons dude. Yeah. Like it's from Uncharted 2, I think. Like I remember them from the co-op multiplayer. Guys, they look like they're wearing pots and pans.
Yeah, exactly. It's a giant armoured man with a massive gun.
And I guess again that's really good for defence and just like laying down cover.
They say he's very, very slow, but can change the sort of tide of a battle.
I think that he was talking about how that's again like they scale up as the map goes on. That's the most expensive one. Yeah. So like if things are tight, it tends to be that those guys come out from either side at the end, and then things get really interesting.
Yeah.
So there is like a more tactical feel. Talking about characters, talked about Elena then really quickly.
Yeah.
They have brought in characters from all of the old Uncharted games. So like Lazarevich is in there. Marlowe, the nasty lady from Uncharted 3.
Yeah.
So and you can I think the idea was they haven't got an announcer now.
No.
They have got barks. Like loads of little lines of dialogues and reactions to whatever kind of context is going on in the battle.
Yeah.
To kind of make it feel like those characters are have their own little personality in there.
Yeah, which is cool.
It is cool. Yeah. It looks. I mean, we haven't really talked about what playing it is like.
Yeah.
It basically feels like.
Or the rope. I wanted to mention the rope. The rope is so
I'm really
good.
bad at the rope.
Yeah.
They've designed the levels so that you can use the rope as much as possible.
Yeah.
And how did you use it?
It's on L1, so the level we played had a lot of sort of small chasms and stuff.
Yeah.
With overhanging branches, which was great for getting over the chasms. So you're also going around some corners. I think there are some like hidden routes that you'll find.
Right, okay.
Sometimes there's quite an obvious kind of prompt for like press L1, and sometimes I think you can kind of find, if you look around, you'll find it. I didn't manage to do any aerial attacks on anybody.
I didn't, but I tell you what though, when you're just rushing across a chasm with the rope, there is such a feeling of you get that high swing going.
Yeah.
And like it's obviously the first time we've used the rope in Uncharted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that did feel great, man.
I noticed as well, it's not like you don't like sort of press a button and it just takes care of it. Like you have to release it as well. I think you press X, and if you don't, you'll come right back again. And I think the first time I did that was like, oh god, I've got to do this. I think that could be like, there's probably going to be some really cool gameplay things where people like, swing over, don't go, swing back, and it's not like just a done deal. Out. It's quite cool.
It is. It's so Indiana Jones, man.
Yeah.
It really is like, throw me the idol.
Yeah.
I'll pass you the way.
Yeah.
So I think that's everything that we know about Uncharted 4 multiplayer. It was good fun. It feels a lot like the old ones, but better. It's got the same kind of aiming, cover, that kind of main preoccupation. But as we said, we're kind of tactical elements brought in from The Last of Us. Lots of learnings that they did there, and it looks really good. And there's a rope in it.
Yeah.
So you probably want to play that. There is a beta coming out in early December.
December the 4th, I believe.
And so do get involved with that if you can. Stay with us on the channel. We do have more coming up from Paris Games Week, and Dave would be sad if you didn't watch it.
I really will.